Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be working on the taillights of this 2014 BMW X3. Now unfortunately with this body style of X3, which I believe is the F25 model, the taillights have a little chip in them that tend to fail. It's not a big deal, it's not super expensive to fix, but I want to go over on how to fix it because I've got the parts here and I've seen some other videos online. I had to look up to see exactly how to do it so that I could fix it myself, and some of the videos weren't very specific and a lot of them were kind of confusing to follow. So I bought these replacement parts on Amazon and I've never seen these ones specifically get replaced. Most people just buy them in the pairs and this is all four of them. The one thing I want to go over real quick, and a lot of people get kind of fussy about ordering car parts from Amazon or eBay. Amazon and eBay do not make car parts. People sell on Amazon and eBay the same way you would sell on a car website. So if there's somebody who's selling, for example, on Car ID, there's oftentimes you'll go to a eBay posting or an Amazon posting. If you go down into the details, you find out that this part is the same one sold on all sorts of platforms. So just do your research. Don't worry too much about buying from Amazon, buying from eBay. As long as you're buying the correct parts and you know where they're coming from and you've seen the reviews, you shouldn't have any issues. Just do your research. So we are going to get this opened up. I will have the link to these ones specifically in the description below. This has all four of them in it. So if you wanted to replace all four of them, you can. It has the same chip in the outer lights as it does on these inner ones on the tailgate. These ones up here are the ones that we're going to be replacing. It used to be that this one wasn't working and this one was, and I swapped them the other day because these are the legal taillights. So I wanted to make sure that these were the ones that were actually running. Now as far as reliability goes, this is probably the first thing that we've had to do to this car, and it's going to cost us like 50 bucks. So it's not a big deal. I probably won't even replace these ones. We might just leave the original ones in there until they fail, and we'll probably just like put these in a Ziploc and keep them in the jockey box or something like that nearby, so that when these do fail, we can replace them. I do want to pull one of these apart so that I can show everyone how to get these ones out, where these chips sit, and then we'll be taking these ones apart too, showing everybody where the chip is and how to get it out. This whole process is pretty simple and should only take the average person around 25 or 30 minutes to do. So with that being said, let's get started. So this whole problem was noticed because we had a family member driving behind us and told us that this one was on, this one was off, and then it was opposite on the other side. So what I ended up doing was taking this chip out and swapping them so that this could be the one that was lit up because it's the legal taillight. It's pretty easy to see. This one's lighting up and this one's not, and it's the same for the other side. So the two center ones need to be replaced at the least. Like I said, I'll probably take these ones apart to show everybody how to do that. So you can see here, it's these LED stripes here, supposed to be all the way across, and these ones aren't lighting up. And the other downside to that is that actually I believe it runs the rest of this board. So even though you hit your brakes, even though these ones aren't running, you hit your brakes, the brake doesn't turn on. So they definitely need to be replaced. Again, this is a pretty simple project and it doesn't cost that much. Just keep an eye on your taillights. If you're worried about this happening to your X3, just come back around behind your car, hit your unlock button, check your taillights. Not a big deal, everything should turn on. If everything's on, don't worry about it. So these are the ones on the door. So we're gonna be popping this off. It's pretty easy. What you'll wanna do is just take a small tool, pop this cover off. Flat blade works fine unless you have some trim removal tools. Those probably work a little bit better so you don't scratch the plastic. You can see there is a nut there on the right hand side. So here's what that nut looks like. It actually is attached to this assembly, so you'll want to just keep those together. Once it's to this position, you'll push that plastic pop out and then you're able to release the tail light. From here, undo this harness. And this right here is the chipboard that we've been having issues with. Now normally there is a piece of plastic that's just kind of tabbed over right here, and all I did was just pop that off. It becomes hard plastic because I actually melted it. So you can just pop that right off. You'll want to slide this board out and replace it. If you want to put this back together, you can use a piece of electrical tape. You could melt this back together if you want to try doing that. I saw that it actually friction fits really well and it doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere. So let's try to slide this one out again because this one's been out before. Yeah, it looks like they friction fit back together pretty well. So if you're not worried about it, you should be able to just leave it. If not, again, a piece of electrical tape, or you could try to melt that plastic back over that again to keep the board from falling out. So here's all the new ones. These are supposed to be a little bit better than the ones that are in there originally. So let's go pull the original one out all the way and we'll look at them side by side and then we'll get them replaced. So here's the two side by side. The new one is black, it says ITF on it. Again, this is supposed to be a better setup. So let's get this one put in. Again, it just goes in the same way that this old one came out. So now that we have some electrical tape on here, making it a little bit more secure, I'm just gonna go plug it in. We're gonna try it out before we get everything bolted up. And then I kind of wanna show this pin right here. This is the one that you'll end up fighting when you get it out the first time. And I damaged mine pretty bad, but again, this is really what holds it in there. So if you mess yours up, don't worry about it too much. Just try your best to get it out there all in one piece. And then when you go put it back together, just make sure you get this set up right and you won't have any other problems. And there we go, just hit the unlock button. These two lit up just like they're supposed to. So now that I know that this is working properly, we're gonna put everything back together and get the other side done real quick. I'm not gonna record the other side because it's the same process as this, but I will show this taillight on the driver's side so that I can show everyone how to pull that apart. It's a very similar process. It's a little bit more difficult, but we got this side done. I'm gonna go do the driver's side version of this and get all that put back together, and then we'll be taking off this light from the driver's side. So you want to start by pulling on this piece of plastic. You want to push up and then pull out this way. Two nuts right here, and then this whole assembly slides straight back towards us. We'll undo this plug right here. And let's go take this over to the bench so I can show everyone how to pull this apart. Once you hit this point, you can push down on this tab here, and then you'll want to slowly pry up on this kind of stuff, and just be careful not to break anything. If you push too hard, oftentimes these plastics get more and more brittle the older they get. So all you do is just pry this off. Once we're inside, you can see the board here. Again, same thing, you just want to slide it out and replace it. Now I'm going to be leaving this one because this one is still working. I'm going to be taking our two remaining boards that I have and putting them in a Ziploc or something like that, and then leaving them either in the jockey box or somewhere where we can easily get to it. But this is how you replace the actual taillight, and then now we're going to put it all back together. All right, everything's clipped back together. We'll slide this right back in the same way that you take it out, and then put those two nuts on, and we should be good to go. With recording, I replaced essentially 3 out of 4. Even though I replaced the 2, I took off the other tail light, and I had been recording for about an hour. So this really is a super simple project. If you're having issues with your X3 taillights, check this first. It's definitely worth taking a look at this. So if your taillights are going out, this is probably your issue. So I appreciate everybody for watching. Consider liking, commenting, subscribing. If you have any questions, please comment them below, and we will see everyone in the next video.